do it.
Pew, pew.
We check on YouTube real quick.
Pew, pew, pew.
This is GroundWrk Live, episode 11, live and direct from CSSB. We are in the Zood room. Shout out to the Zoods, their motherfucking family. Shout out to my brother Cheat Code right here on the left doing an audio check, making sure y'all can hear my voice coming through this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Shout out you, shout out me, shout out we, shout out the movement. We're at home, man. CSSB. Last night we was fucking turned up on K Street. Shout out Hippie Life ENT. Shout out Mendez. Shout out GroundWrk. You know what I'm saying? We was K Street activated at the restroom for the open mic. I only lasted about an hour and a half, brother. And I was like, holy fuck, bro. I'm tired as a bitch. So, you know what I'm saying? Great night. Great event. Shout out the gang. I cut off a little early, bro, after the first, 9 or 10 performances. And it was some dope fucking, man. It was some dope shit getting pushed out last night. So, shout out the artists that pulled up. Shout out Chico going to the back and checking something on the computer. But here we are, man. This episode is titled, They're the Best. We're the Best. Who's the best? Oh, shout out Chico. Chico picking up our audio right now. I can hear it. That sounds loud as a motherfucker. That's right. Yeah. Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2. GroundWrk Live. Back again. Live and direct. We in there, brother?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, yeah. It sounds way more clear on this side.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, there you are. All right, we'll do the official start. We can trim it up to this point. This is GroundWrk Live, episode 11. I'm with my brother Chico Beats. My name is Josh Jordan. We're here in the Zoo Room. Shout out to CSSB. Shout out the motherfucking home team. Shout out the family. Last night we was at the restroom, live and direct. Shout out motherfucking Hippie Life ENT, Mendez Entertainment. Yeah, it was awkward. Whole lot of team shit going on, man. What's up, brother? It's a Saturday morning. It's early, man. We up early. You got this AM session going on. We're doing GroundWrk Live in the early morning. I think this is cool. Down the line, we could really start to pre-promote this show in the morning and be like, yo, come check us out. We a morning show. You know what I'm saying? Come fuck with us live. And I think it'll make a little bit more sense.
Get out of bed, bitch.
Get out of bed, bitch. When you're moving around, put us on, man. And let us talk to your soul real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yeah. We talking about who the best?
We the best. Who the best? We the best music.
We the best music.
Yeah, dude. So, look, shout out the movements. You know what I'm saying? Woke up this morning on Instagram. I'm looking at shit, and I see conversations, happening about who is the best rapper in Sacramento. Right. So, number one, great question. I love shit like this because it's throwing in the competitive edge immediately. You know what I'm saying? When you use a word like the best, right? And anybody who comes from fucking sports or fucking athletics being younger knows that the best is a really heavy fucking word. You know what I'm saying? And there's obviously many different ways to measure it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you hear people talk about, right, the easiest conversation is the best in basketball, right? I mean, is it Kobe Bryant? Is it LeBron James? Is it Michael Jordan, right? And you've got people that stand on every hill that will die on that hill. You know what I'm saying? They will absolutely die on that hill. So, at the end of the day, quite honestly, I think it's subjective. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if there's, I think that there are requirements and characteristics you can really start measuring shit, looking at shit, but it's like at the end of the day, I think that the best is going to be subjective unless you put some sort of criteria on what it is that makes somebody the best in whatever industry you're talking about. Go ahead.
The only way it's not subjective is if somebody just separates themselves so much that you can't really have the conversation anymore. The conversation becomes that person, and then you talk about everybody else, or at least that's how it feels when
that's how it feels in basketball, right?
Yeah,
it definitely felt like there was a LeBron James.
But there's that's subjective too, just because now it's subjective. Now it's subjective because now it's just who you liked better. Because it's a
you're touching a great thing though. Yeah, now you're pulling in the social shit, right?
Yeah.
So now you know what I mean.
I watched
Michael the best,
Jordan
or is he
play.
the most liked? You know what I'm saying?
No, even I watched Michael Jordan play. Nobody was better than him. That's usually the argument is that people who haven't seen him. Oh, mic quiet.
Oh, mic's quiet.
Mine is. Which one is me? Can you check for me?
What on here?
Yeah. Check. Hello. Yep. Is it better? Hella. Kevin.
What about now?
Hello. Can you hear me? Check. Mic check. Hello, hello, hello. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Shout out, Kevin.
You would think I'm a fucking audio tech.
Ah,
Yeah.
you are.
Oh yeah.
We are all this.
So I love that, right? So I love the idea of. Did I cut you off?
I'll say too that it's easier in sports because sports has a winner and a loser. When you watch basketball, there is no subjectiveness in that. That's why you can. That to me, as somebody who's done both, which most of us, like you said, have at some point. There's a clear winner and a clear loser, and that's not true in music. So it's like a harder conversation. What
about when someone says it's not true in music? You're right, but couldn't you say it's not true in basketball because then wouldn't the conversations be brought up of like, well, not everybody had those team members around him, or not everybody had that team, or not, or bro was by himself, or well, Kobe had Shaq and woo woo woo, but bro didn't have woo woo. Like, you know what I mean, they start pulling in all these like, because like the win is not decided by the individual player, it's by the team.
I guess I'm talking more about like the core of what they are. So if you strip back, there's a scoreboard. Yeah, exactly.
There's a scoreboard.
If you strip back everybody, like who were, because the start is usually who's the best team, right? And that comes from, okay, the easiest way to do that is who's the winner and who's the loser. Who's gonna have the most points at the end of the game,
right?
And who's gonna have the less? There's not that in music, you know what I'm saying? Because
no championship rings to count.
Because at the core of it, it's artistic, and there was never,
so Kendrick not up 3-0.
Somebody at the beginning of music,
scoreboard.
Somebody at the beginning of music wasn't like, this is how we're gonna measure music and use numbers to do it in terms of. I feel like culturally, genres can transcend that because rap beef is exclusive to hip hop. So they found a way to make. There's
not country singers beefing.
Hell no,
singing to each other.
Right? They're not. Well, I guess there's like some bands back in the day that I guess were beefing, but it's not as directed. You know what I'm saying? Like hip hop culture is the battle portion. The battle portion of things, like we talk about the BBL or like any type of freestyle thing, that like that's what like inserted competitiveness into it because people wanted that part of it. And that's how I feel like that's the only way you could get it right. And then the songs become subjective. So now you're like asking, and then bro makes a good point. He said there are awards, but who is giving out those awards? Like, did we pick those people
to represent us,
to represent the certain people?
Probably in the same way that the United States picks its like government, like a group of people who are like knowing that's going on, or maybe putting their resources to vote on that shit. Because like remember we talked to some of the people that are on that Grammy,
because you can get on
board
that
or whatever.
Like most people don't understand that if you have enough, like even as an independent artist, if you have enough things that you register, you can get on that board and have a voice in that. So that's like more diplomatic almost, like like you said, that's closer to like politics and shit like that, which is why I guess it feels like that sometimes. Woo! But it's like it's like into the thick of it. Even that, like that's what I'm saying, if you just strip back everything, like the awards were made not to tell you who was better, who's the best and who's not. The awards were
Taylor, I'm gonna let you finish in a minute.
Yeah, the awards were made to recognize people achievements in the same way as, see, now you can compare awards in sports too, because that wasn't, I don't think that sports awards were originally made to say this is the better player, but it was to
show accolades or show,
it was to recognize somebody having a great fucking, motherfucker batted 500, you know what I'm saying, you got fucking more home runs than anyone has ever done in the history, you now get this award. And that's what I feel like it is with music, because
damn, that gets so deep. I don't mean to cut you off, but it made me think of Barry Bonds, and it's like, okay, so it's like Barry Bonds, boom, best home run hitter of all time. But then it's like when all the shit came out, they were trying to strip that from him, and half of his fans were like, I don't care if he was doing that, he was still the best. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking? That was still the show I saw with my eyes. You know what I mean? Like, it gets so unclear and subjective just based on people's criteria.
Exactly.
No cap.
So there's no like real criteria. There's a there's an easier criteria I feel like with sports, because like I said, there's so
How many
much,
points? How many assists?
Yeah, there's so much.
How many times
can
did you not convert that?
But then people can just, but you, like you said, people can subjectivize it. But
well, I could do that for
harder.
music, but then people,
it's harder in music.
Yeah, but then it would look crazy. It wouldn't look like what you want, right? When you're talking about the best in music, you don't want somebody saying, "Well, how many albums did you drop this year? How many? How much
That's
did
what I
they
mean,
net?
like,
how much did they gross?" You know what I'm saying? Like people don't want to hear that. People that are in the conversation of hip hop, what I hear for the most part is like the best is for the most part being reflected in the lyricism, like in the bars. So most of the time when I hear the egos come out of like, you know, this person's the best or this person's the best, right? Kendrick and Drake, right? It's like, Kendrick's really a rapper. Like he is rapping though, like the bars though, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they're not wrong, right? You go listen to that, it's bars, you know what I mean? You go listen to Drake, it's a little melodic, you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit different, but the idea of like when someone in hip hop is saying like, well, who's the best? To me, it's almost like, that's a, and then you've got the mainstream Drake fans, which are like, bro, what are you talking about? Drake's been dropping hits for fucking 10 years, you know what I mean?
Really
but it's like, but what's the criteria though? Because if someone's the best is you've stayed on the fucking top charts for fucking 12 years, like that's the best to them. You know what I'm saying? And is there, let's get to the nitty gritty. Is there, in your perspective, an actual criteria that could be looked at for the best, or is it broken up just like in sports by like, you know, this person's good at this but bad at that. This person can freestyle really well but doesn't have a good output of music. This person can battle. Battlers are the perfect example. A lot of great battle rappers, you know what I'm saying, are not producing and outputting regular quote unquote music with beats and shit like that.
Their sport is the battle. Right.
Their sport is the battle, but it's still rap. So like if you put you know, me and a battle rapper next to you trying to say who's the best at rap, well, it's like we're in two different things, but it is the same, but it's different. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, that's like putting a tennis player and a fucking pickleball player. Like there's overlap, but crazy, like you play on the same field, you know what I mean, on the same court, but it's two totally different sports. You know what I mean?
I'm going to say this before we get to criteria. This conversation can be helpful and hurtful. That's how I feel, especially in music. So in music, it's like you can announce that and it's part of like rap. I feel like sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, like that's like who you are. Like you gotta fucking, there's so many rappers who claim the best. Like that's just part of like the game. You know what I'm saying? Like
shout out Hobson. And let's bring up Hobson again. Oh, no. Hobson got us 40K views last time, bro. Hobson claimed he was the best just by roasting everybody. So if your criteria is fuck up everybody else and that makes you the best, like bro, you just made a song about everybody. But anyways, that was just for the YouTube clip. We can clip that up and throw that on.
But so when like, I hate to even like put it like this, but when people like how you're talking about like a Kendrick Lamar or Drake do it, it's like a fun conversation and people still take it way too far. I'm gonna say this before we get into criteria. Even though I'm competitive, if you actually know me, you know how competitive
as hell.
Yeah, and like in certain, so much so that I feel like it has to be in the right atmosphere.
Right.
When it comes to this shit, on a local level, even though I enjoy the competitiveness, I would hope that nobody takes it too far. I would like to see it more so in the way that like people get on NBA players for competing and then like dapping each other up after, like being friendly. Like that's what I feel like this shit should be. So if anyone's listening, hopefully it's like that, because to me, if we're doing this here right now and nobody has a clear answer, then nobody's working hard enough. You don't have a real like claim to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You either don't have that's what I was saying in the beginning. Like it hasn't been undeniable, so nobody is sitting here saying this person is the best in all of it. And that could, like you said, that could even spark it. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're in the right head frame of like, oh yeah, like I just want to get better. So this conversation is for me to continue to push, to continue to show off my skills, to hone them, to do this, to do that. And when I see you, it's all good. But when we're in the playing field, in the court, that's when I'm competing. You know what I'm saying? People can separate it now, whereas like we talk about the NBA crossover. Back in the day, it was like if we were competing, I hated you. You know what I'm saying? And everyone hates the fact that now you can compete and after the fact be like all good. But Anyway.
No, yeah, no, ain't no anyway. That's tight. I think you really hit on it because we talked about it for like 30 seconds off camera before it started,
Yeah.
But I think you're right, and especially talking to the headspace because it could either go one of two ways. Something that and right, because we're not obviously you don't rap and I don't fucking make beats or record people, but there's still a competitiveness almost to just like our friendship and to like our business relationship to where funny text you just listening to me.
Just listening to you.
Okay, yeah, no, but like real life because we don't talk about it or see it in that way, but it probably comes from our sports backgrounds and obviously being in the business now, but those phone calls of like, it's 8:00 in the morning, it's 8:30 in the morning, and we're calling each other, checking in on each other, whether it's after work, before work, after pod, before pod, but these conversations are almost set up with like, hey, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, right? You know what I'm saying? And to me, that is almost like this competitive nature of like, we're trying to grow, I'm trying to see you grow, you know what I'm saying? The same way that when you're at baseball practice and you see your boy fucking showing up late, there's got to be some level of you guys holding each other accountable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you're on the same team.
Because you're on the same team, right. So even in conversations where I'm having conversations with the Sensei Savs, with the Money Mans, with the Kid Cashes, with the Dame Lost Souls, you know what I'm saying? All these people that you got to be on the lookout for because they're going to start dropping a lot. You know what I'm saying? And these conversations are in the room when I'm talking to them. I'm like, yo, dude, I'm doing a project a month. You know what I mean? I don't say that every single opportunity I get because I'm just trying to pull my dick out. You know what I'm saying? Like as much as like yeah, it's a project a month. That's a lot. But in actuality, I'm trying to turn up the homies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get the homies to say, if you could do a project a month, I could do a project a month for sure. You know what I'm saying? And then what does it look like to have 9 people pushing out a project a month? That's where to me that competitiveness can come together and actually build something, but can also do something to where it drives people out of their creative space. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's that line you have to be careful of is you don't want to fucking get so like emotionally involved in becoming the best at something that you're just not.
You still just work. Hopefully it just pushes you to continue to work.
Yeah, dude.
As
Look,
hard
man,
as you can.
I think we both come from similar places of there was really no edge. You know what I'm saying? It's like all we could do was work hard. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like when people talk about, it sounds cliche, right? But it's the realest shit when people talk about anywhere where I'm at in my musical journey, whether it's, hey, congratulations on 100,000 plays. Hey, congratulations on 200 fucking Spotify listeners because I know that you were at 40 for 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, congratulations on making $600 this year off music direct to consumer because I know that you've made 0 and worked 3 jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like all these small things really leading into what I feel like could be the best.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if my mind was stuck on just becoming the best, I don't even think any of these actions get taken.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They get taken because I wanted to get better. Like you said, I wanted to actually be able to.
You want to be your best.
Wow.
And then
They talk about the best. We should be talking about your best.
Yeah.
That's the new title. Retitle it. That's player.
That's why, I mean, you hear that in sports too. It's like you don't really compete with others if you want to be better than them. You just compete with yourself, right? Like you just do the work and hopefully everything, as long as you lay everything out on the table, like your whole effort, your whole thing, then it should work out.
Yeah.
And you should
And if it don't,
that.
you're not going to have your chin down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your chin will be up. You know what I mean? And I've taken L's after putting in everything. And it don't feel amazing.
Yeah.
But it don't feel like taking an L when you know you could have tried harder.
Yeah.
Because that's a different type of feeling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But we'll end on the criteria real quick. We can both share the criteria. For me, the bars are secondary, which is, I like how you brought up Drake and Kendrick. Because if anyone has had this conversation with me, this is part of it for sure. The criteria for me is really mostly in like the tone, the flow, and that I actually believe.
Hip-hop ass cat.
I believe what you're like telling me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can
No,
actually.
you're convicted.
Yeah,
you're
I can
convicted in
feel
what
what you're saying. Even if I don't like relate directly, at least I understand where you're coming. Oh, okay, like you're getting the point across. Yeah. And then after that, it can be lyricism. Because at the end of the day, like if you can't convey that point, that's got to be part of it, right? If you're not writing correctly, you're not conveying something well enough. But to me, if your tone and everything else is off, then you could have the best fucking lyricism ever, and I'm just like, you're not saying anything. You're saying a lot of words to say nothing. So for me, it starts with the feeling in music in general. To me, and that's why I say too, like sports are so different to me, because that's not feeling. That's fucking like I'm getting the requisite skills to fucking be better than you. Yeah. This is like, if you get all the requisite skills and I can't feel your music because you have no, like, because you're following a blueprint, because you're following a book that makes you think that you're going to get hot, then I'm tuned out automatically. I can hear that. To me, I can hear that in how you make music. If I feel like it's all just a money play, or if it's all just like you putting on a front, it automatically takes me out of the world. So that's kind of my criteria.
That makes sense to me. Sounds like a fair criteria. You know what I'm saying? I'm for sure super biased in my criteria, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? At least I'm understanding of it and know that I'm biased. You know what I mean? Because I'm like the epitome of like fucking like hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard type deal. Yeah. And I just really feel like, you know what I mean? I love saying this. This is one of the funniest things about me growing up. But for 14 seasons straight, I was the slowest kid on my baseball team. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't out of lack of effort. You know what I'm saying? I was doing running lessons. I'm trying to learn how to run. You know what I'm saying? I never got faster. You know what I'm saying? But like the diligence, you know what I'm saying, that was needed to do something like that. And then you take notes and you start seeing that, right? You can see it in athletics, you can see it in education, you can see it in fucking music. But to me, number one, if you're not in the league, you're not even in the conversation. And the reason being is because I feel like there's people that do things at a professional level, and then there's people that don't. You know what I'm saying? There's guys who go out and play football with their homies, and that's tight. And then there's people who get paid $2 million to play football, $20 million to me. And I don't think that's on fluke. And if you talk to those athletes, they're going to tell you how hard they worked to get to those positions and how much it took to get there, right? So if you're not even in the league, you're not even in the conversation. So that's number one. If you want to relate that into music, obviously it's not the most straightforward, but if music's not creating your livelihood
at a professional level,
you're not the best at something that's needed to do that because you're still in this pool of people, right? Yeah. So that's number one. You know what I'm saying? And again, people are going to hate to hear that. Oh, bro, so you have to be mainstream. Oh, bro, so you have to... No, bro, you have to make $20,000 a year off your music, which is not that crazy. You know what I'm saying? If this shit is not perpetuating your livelihood, don't say that you're the best, because if you get into a conversation with somebody who's in the room who really does this shit, they're going to look at you and laugh. You know what I'm saying? Now, you might not laugh because that's not your criteria, but I'm just telling you the experience for me is I'm looking at the person that shows up for 14 seasons, tries to run faster, because to me, he's working way harder than the dudes who are just showing up. You know what I'm saying? So, number one. You know what I'm saying? Number two, the output's got to be there. If you're not dropping, what are we even fucking talking about? You know what I'm saying? If you're not on the field playing, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Number three, it accurately represents yourself. You know what I'm saying? We talk about this, right? The cohesion. Are you the same person online, in person, and in your music? You know what I'm saying? Because nobody likes a fucking douchebag football player who could throw the ball good, but off the field he's a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, subjective, right? because there's people that are going to... Well, and I honestly think it all is, right? I told you mine was biased right off the rip. No. But to me, that's an immediate... The way that you said, if someone's reading a book and whoop, that's an offer me. If I talk to somebody and they're just so in their own head and up their ass, I'm like, bruh, that can't be what the best looks like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That to me can't be the best, bruh. Yeah. Now, someone will sit here, we can argue it, but guess what, bruh? That's my Michael Jordan hill. That's my Kobe Bryant hill. That's my fucking LeBron James hill, bruh.
That to me is like everything to get you in the conversation anyway. Yeah. Because I don't think that any of this is. I don't think that all of that is. This is the criteria and this is it. No, that's probably like a combination of things, because you could like have all. That's what I mean by saying like you could have all the skills. So even if you meet like all the physical skills, if you're not really doing anything with them, then it's like the whole if a tree falls in the forest argument. Like,
does it make sound? Well, probably, but who cares because nobody heard it.
Yeah, and the argument usually is like, well, you didn't hear it, so. And that's what you could argue if you're not doing what you're talking about.
Hey, Mom.
Hi, sweet boy. What you doing?
Shit, live on a podcast. Say what's up to the million people.
Hi, millions of people.
I'm going to call you back in a little bit. Thanks for calling me sweet boy live on air. Love you. Shout out Moms, man. She been calling me all morning. I had to answer, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? After like the third call, I'm like, bro, I'm a dickhead. Shout out Moms, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But yeah, that sounds tight to me, though. So I agree. Because like I said, I don't think it's one. What I laid out is if you're already up there. Because to me, bro, like, I don't want to sound like a dick, but to me, the conversations don't mean anything if you're not like what are we talking about? There's nobody in the city that is so well known.
Hey, shout out Phil Harmonic. He did just get the NPR placement. We're going to drop that name.
And we're talking more about rappers because that's what the conversation was.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, if we're talking about like all artists in the general sense,
yeah,
like,
we could drop some names.
Yeah, we could drop names. But if we're talking about like just the scene and shit like that, like when you talk, there's nobody doing well enough to make the claim.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
And that's why I said like I don't want to sound like a dick.
Oh no, you don't. Hey man, stand on that. I like that.
Because it's not really like about that either. At the end of the day, like that should hopefully just push you to work harder. But bro, like what are we doing? Like
yeah, dude.
I don't care about the conversation right now because there's no. It's a fun back and forth.
Yep.
That's
so,
it,
and
though.
it should turn. Yeah, so it should turn everybody up.
Yeah.
Try to become the best.
And that's it.
No cap.
To me, what are we really doing? You know what I'm saying? If you're living off the music, like you said, that's almost step one.
Yeah, bro.
To even have the conversation.
To me, right? I mean, look, bro.
To have it,
man.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, when I busted down criteria, it's an assumption that all that shit has already happened.
Yeah.
When you busted down your criteria, this is just how I see it.
No, 100%. It was before.
That's to even get there.
Yeah.
That's to even get the conversation started.
Yeah, you shouldn't even be having the conversation.
There's
if that's
no
not what's
reason.
happening.
There's no reason. You need to get back in the lab and you need to continue to do what you're doing, which I think most people do that and understand that. So
yeah. Hey man.
But yeah, tight shit.
Hey, they talking about the best, and I ain't mad at them. I just need these motherfuckers to show up. You know what I mean? Go ahead, do they thug. I tell you what, man, the city's making a lot of noise, bro. There's so many different sections going crazy. There's so many different fucking event spaces going crazy. There's so many positive lights getting spread out on the city, bro, that, you know what I'm saying? This is the type of shit we want to see, right? This first conversation, when we first talked about, when we first started the pod off cam, we was like, yeah, bro, this could be what's needed for that competitive edge to kind of come out. And we've seen it in the past, and show up, bro, and go crazy. You know what I'm saying? The BBL, you know what I'm saying? Shout out motherfucking Sensei Sav. You know he doing that battle shit. I think next one's June 14. You know what I'm saying? So
you know the easiest way to show up though, drop some music.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. When we say show up, we not. I was just gonna start promoting events. But no, when we talk about just showing up, yeah, we talk about making the music, putting it out, and then representing yourself, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't stop at putting it out. You know what I mean? Oh man, the rappers hate to hear me say it, bro, but it's not just rap no more, man. It's got to be you, bro. You know what I mean? You are the brand, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's never been. It's never been, but the independent artist, I feel like, has a lot more responsibility now with taking care of it now.
You have to do it yourself. For
yeah.
But it's never been just the rap thing.
Yeah. The labels took care of the rest.
Now if you look back, yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
The labels took care of all that.
Yeah,
before.
and I'm not doing the fake chains and shit like that, so I'm going a different route. You know what I'm saying? We out here kicking down the doors, kicking down the walls and shit like that. On me.
Hell yeah.
Hey man, GroundWrk Live, number 11. They talking about the best. I just wanted to build some anticipation. I hope y'all have a great motherfucking Saturday. I hope y'all get through, do what you're supposed to be doing. Chico, you got any final words for the folks this morning, man?
Nope. Go to work.
Show up. It's Saturday. Everybody else asleep. Go get you some money on.